Yeah, what's good? It's eBay back at it with another one. Hey, y'all see the title, man. Look, I'm gonna get straight into it because Diddy out here trying to flex his muscle. That's really what he trying to do. And y'all about to see how he doing it. Cause you know they ain't showing none of the court stuff. They ain't doing none of that, bro. So just watch. Y'all gonna be like, what? Diddy on trial.
There's breaking news just now in the trial ongoing of Sean Diddy Combs. Our Laura Coates has been covering. She's outside the court. Tell us about the theatrics inside the court.
There was a major moment just now inside the Diddy trial. While the jury had left the room, the judge had a conference with the actual attorneys, at which point the judge said, I was so clear this morning to Mr. Agnifilo, who is the lead counsel. I was so clear this morning there were not to be any reactions to this jury. There were not to be any theatrics. Was I or was I not clear? Mr. Agnifilo said that they were clear about it. He then admonished Sean Diddy Combs, the defendant in this RICO trafficking and prostitution case, that he had been nodding at the jury.
Look, y'all see it say testimony from victim 2 is indictment expected next week.
He had been looking straight at the jurors.
Look.
The judge, in no uncertain terms, said that that was not the correct behavior and that he threatened to preclude Sean Diddy Combs from being inside of the courtroom for possibly the duration of his own trial if he continued to look at the jurors and nod and react in any way to the testimony that was coming in. This was a really big moment, of course, for the judge to make this statement. He is on trial, of course, fighting for his life, could spend the rest of his life in prison if he is convicted of all 5 charges. The judge said he expects this not to happen again, that the defendant in his case would look at the jurors, would nod, or in any way react. Now, you can imagine if you are the...
Bruh. So he in there. Hey, so Diddy in there looking at the juror like, I got that money for you, bruh. Hey, come on, man. Ride with me. Ride with me. Bruh. You can't do that, goofy boy. What do you think this is, man? Diddy fooling. Let's get it.
The jury in this case, hearing testimony come in where the defense was scoring some significant points through a witness by the name of Bonna, who they tried to chip away from her credibility line by line, even suggesting she did not know the day of the
y'all know who Bonna is, drop in the comments.
The balcony incident, or that she was somehow in cahoots with Cassie Ventura to concoct some narrative and to promote Bonna's own civil lawsuit. So you have the impression for the juries that he's not able to react in some way. How would that possibly hamstring the defense? This just happened. Sean Diddy Combs threatened with not being able to be present for his trial if he reacts or nods and looks at the jury who is waiting to decide his own fate.
And Laura, as someone who has been in a number of courtrooms, seen a number of cases, how rare is it for something like this to happen, for a judge to say, listen, you keep doing this, you're not going to be sitting here for your own trial?
The judge don't like Diddy already, y'all. I'm telling you.
When was the last time you had your plumbing inspected? Small issues such as...
I have seen it, of course, with theatrical and particularly disruptive defendants who are told to calm down or not to be theatrical in the way they are.
Hey, this real CNN footage, by the way.
I've also heard it if the judge believes that somehow the conduct of the defendant might possibly influence or intimidate the jurors in this case.
That's all he's trying to do.
Direct eye contact or otherwise. But to have this particular reaction in this high profile of a case when a defense is well versed in the appellate process and knows full well that anything that the judge orders their defendant and client not to do, if a conviction results, could very well go up on appeal. And of course, you've got the common sense notion. Imagine, if you will, the hypothetical, if you were accused.
But think about this though, bro. You not being present for your own trial, like, to me, that's an automatic loss. Like you taking a big L on that one.
Accused of a horrendous crime, and the jurors will naturally, as human beings, look to the defendant for some human.
I'm still trying to figure out. Drop in the comments, but I'm still trying to figure out how this is a RICO case. It's still kind of like. He got people coming up, keep talking about freak offs. I still ain't seen no kidnapping and none of that. I mean, All of it right now is just accusations. You know what I'm saying?
Human reaction of any kind. If one is not provided, there could be some adverse inference drawn for that jurors. And so if you are a defendant, it is a human instinct to react. The judge, however, had a very tight leash on this trial, including the attorneys and beyond. This was a moment that I have not seen where Sean Diddy Combs, who is normally stoic, looking ahead, has been threatened. If he reacts and looks at the jury and nods along with the testimony in an effort to try to persuade them on his own thoughts, he could possibly not be present for his own criminal federal trial.
That's crazy,
in your experience, Laura,
bro. That's crazy. Hey, Diddy over there. Hey, Diddy over there in the trial. He do it like this. He look at the juror like. Now you about to get kicked out your own trial. Oh my God! It ain't going like that, brother.
And that's a prospect. We don't know what's going to happen. But does not having the defendant present, is that a disadvantage typically for the defense?
Hell yeah. I think so.
It could very well be, of course, because the jurors are going to be left to try to understand why he is not present. The judge could give a curative instruction, which the judge said today, you don't want to hear the instruction I would give that jury, which led the people in the audience who were remaining. We were all getting ready to leave out. There was a break that was sustained for about a 30-minute period. I lingered behind, waiting to hear their different arguments that might be raised, and to my stunning surprise, hearing the judge give this admonishment and saying, quote, let me make my own record here. If the defendant is not present in his case, particularly in a case of this magnitude, the jury could be left to think of what they might conclude and infer. And no defense counsel wants their client's absence to be interpreted independently by a jury of his peers.
Because you got to think about it. Diddy watching the trial, he get to at least tell his lawyers like, oh, they lying, this, and that. They're going to have to record everything, bring it back to his cell or wherever they meet up with him, and then have him try to explain. You know how long that's going to take, bro? This trial about to be forever, though. I ain't going to lie. But drop in the comments. Let me know what y'all think, man. Don't forget to hit that like and hit that subscribe button, too, man, so everybody can see the video, man. Y'all got to do that for a brother.
And Laura, again, just for anyone joining us, we are following this breaking news that just happened in the courtroom where the judge admonished Sean Diddy Combs and saying that he could be excluded from the courtroom if he continued to make faces at the jury. I do want to ask you, as we look ahead to the rest of the day, obviously you'll be keeping a close eye on what Combs is doing in there if he puts himself in that position to be essentially kicked out of the courtroom.
Let me see what else they got.
We're going to hear this testimony from an accuser using the pseudonym Jane. What are we expecting from that testimony?
Now, this is what I was wanting to get to. I didn't think they was going to bring it up, but you know, Jane, is it Jane? I think it's Jane. Academics had put on his channel there. I think Jane, he figured out Jane was 50 Cent baby mama. God dang it, all these commercials, my guy. My commercials right here.
Well, the jury is waiting to hear information regarding the claims that the prosecution must carry its burden of proof to conclude. Remember, there are 5 felony charges that could result in a lifetime conviction for Sean Diddy Combs. And
life? Ooh, he probably deserve it, though. Get him out of here, bro. Get him out of here, bro. Nasty boy.
Every single witness will be important in establishing the prosecution's burden of proof. RICO cases are notoriously difficult to prove because it requires the jurors to connect dots independently and alongside of a prosecution team that is trying to ensure that they will be able to connect the dots through a closing argument at the end of a trial. We were told initially this could be up to an 8 to 10 week trial. So imagine
8 to 10 weeks. That ain't even long, though. But my thing is the RICO on freak-offs? I'm just trying to see. Is it on freak-offs? What is it on, bro?
Putting the pin in the status quo for the jurors. But we expect to hear further testimony in today and the days beyond, where the prosecution is going to try to enhance the credibility of prior witnesses, prior stated victims, and the allegations they've said, and this afternoon will continue to be no different. However, now we've got this added discussion. where the defendant in this case, Sean Diddy Combs, is going to have to, as my parents used to say when I was acting up, fix my face to make sure that I'm not.
I feel not the judge making him fix his face. Hey. Throw him under the jail, man. Throw Diddy under the jail. We ain't got time to be. Thank you. I appreciate that. But look, we ain't got time to be messing with no freak offs, man. I thought it was kids involved and some other type of stuff.
We'll see. Anything that would be problematic. But this is a defendant. I was a kid. This is a defendant in a conviction possible. He's presumed innocent, of course, but a case that could, if convicted, lead to the rest of his life behind bars. And people in the audience were thinking to themselves, and for that, he has to have a straight face? How can that be?
Hey, that's going to be hard for Diddy, sitting there like this. He said he already looked like he gained 20 years of his life on there.
The stakes are very high. Laura Coates outside the courtroom there in New York. Thank you so much for that breaking news update. We really appreciate it.
Defense attorney Misty Maris is live.
Hey, y'all get the point, man. Look, Diddy in there fooling, acting up, really thinking his money is going to change the situation, which, to be honest, it could. I think he going to get some R. Kelly type time. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. And do y'all think he really, should be going to jail for the rest of his life? What do y'all think, man? What is y'all situation about this? What do y'all really think is going on? Is it the higher ups trying to get him? Is it what y'all think, man? Let me know in the comments, man. Hey, as I say, man, it's your boy eBay, man. You know what? And I'm back.